welcome back. Today, we're going to be doing we cover many things on this YouTube channel. Anime, comic books, and today, particularly, we're doing TV comic book shows. And I'm going to be covering the Elseworlds. Of course, you know that because you clicked the icon to click this video. But please take the time. If you're already not a subscriber, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We cover a lot of things. Now to get on to the main subject. And that is, unfortunately, it's going to turn into a rant today because I was hugely disappointed by the Elseworlds. I guess it's one of those things, like, you ever heard the old saying, like, somebody trying to tell a joke, and it's like, it's going to be the greatest joke ever. It's going to be the greatest joke you've ever heard. So, automatically, the joke's never going to be as funny as what you think because your expectation is so high. It's almost like the Star Wars thing, like in 1999. The new Star Wars movie had so much enthusiasm, so no matter what they showed you, it would never live up to the enthusiasm you had for it. The picture you had in your head, it was going to be disappointed no matter what. Well, it's kind of like what happened with Elseworlds. I was expecting so much more, and when I actually seen it, I quite frankly was very disappointed. It was like, and I was looking forward to the 90s Flash coming back. And it turns out, most of the previews and, the little teaser trailers showed me every single scene just about that he was in. He was hardly even in it. It was almost a joke. It was like, if we was going to sum up, John Wesley Shipp's appearance in the Elseworlds, it basically was a cameo in like two shows. He had the grand total of maybe, I figure, 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, it was nice, but in reality, it was basically a cameo. It wasn't really, they made it sound like, hey, who's going to be interacting with, like, the Flash, the Green Arrow, and Supergirl. It was not. So for me, it was kind of a major letdown. I enjoyed the little battle with Amazo, or whatever his name is, the little replicating robot thingy. That was interesting. It's like, really the Flash episode where you first get to see the Arrow switched with Barry and whatnot. That was interesting. It started out with a bang, and it ended like a Stephen King novel. It started with a bang, ended with a whisper. That's what I felt like Elseworlds started. It started out really great. All these great things were going on. And towards the end, by the time I watched Supergirl, the third final chapter in this Elseworld, it was like a letdown. It was like, that's it? Like, the battle is cheesy. By the way, the guy that plays that Superman, but that's one other thing that aggravated me. I thought for a minute, because they were playing the Smallville music, and I think it was on the Arrow episode, they had to, like, they're going to have Tom Welling as, in Smallville. It was like a surprise, thing that they didn't announce. Nope. It just turned out to play the music, and then they had this, like, Supergirl cast, and I felt really let down. I was like, oh, well, whatever, By the way, that guy does not look like Superman. No offense to that guy. The guy may be a nice actor, a nice guy, but what is with these Hollywood types? They cannot cast a good Superman. I'm sorry, that guy is not Superman. Maybe this is my opinion, but my personal opinion is that they had a weaker looking Superman because he's on Supergirl. They have an older Superman to make her look younger, and they also have a Superman that looks kind of generic, because let's face it, he looked generic, so he wouldn't stand out against Supergirl. Wink, wink. That's my opinion. And the same thing with Lois. So they had a Lois on there, evidently, that's on Supergirl. I don't watch Supergirl. This is the first time I've watched Supergirl since that show was on CBS. I am totally lost. That's the other thing. I have no clue who half these characters are. And that's one of the unfortunate disappointment. That's one of the unfortunate, disappointing things about these crossovers. I have no clue who these characters are. I guess they're hoping that, like, if you watch it enough, you go like, oh, great, I got to watch this. Like, I've been missing this. Like, it made me not want to watch those shows. I got to be honest. I'm a comic fan, and I hated those shows. I would never watch them. They look like a train wreck. I've watched a few episodes of the Arrow, but and it just some of those characters they look. The guy that plays the Arrow, he's great. He's really charismatic. He seems like a good, he's got a good. He plays a good Green Arrow. But otherwise, I really didn't care. It was just like half the characters on the show was kind of dull, boring, and I just, for somebody that has not watched that show, I had no clue what they were doing or even what they were talking about. Which I guarantee you, half the people watching, judging from the ratings, more people watch The Flash. Way more people watch The Flash than they watch Supergirl or Arrow. So some people were like kind of daisy chained and locked into watching these shows. If they watch these shows, they're like me. They're like, who the hell are these people? And like, why do I care? But the nice thing about this is I got to watch two episodes of The Flash in the same week. I got to watch one on Sunday, and then Monday watched the Arrow, and then it was Tuesday the Supergirl. And but overall, I'm really just disappointed. I mean, it had some. By the way, the thing with Batgirl, it really aggravated me too. They kind of got a woman. I'm not really up on Batgirl. I know she's in the comics, and I think she plays a lesbian in the comics. And I kind of get that. And it's strongly indicated that that's where they're going within the TV series, which they're going to try to launch. But they also made her look really dark and really girl with the dragon tattoo looking, and maybe she looks like that in the comic. I really haven't read the comic because I got to be honest, Batgirl, or Batwoman, I'm sorry, is not my thing. I just really could care less. That's just me. I'm not interested in the comic. Not that I dislike a woman superhero, because I do like some of them, but this one I could care less. I just don't care. And I was kind of getting the idea that they were kind of going to have like Batgirl, Batwoman, and Supergirl kind of have a thing going. I was like, So apparently, are they trying to make Supergirl a lesbian? And in her show, there seemed to be a lot of like strong lesbian overtones in that show. I'm kind of getting the idea that's like a lot of lesbianism. I don't know what's up with that. I don't watch Supergirl. I watched that one episode, but just judging from that, I could kind of tell there was like, what's going on here? I kind of like the fact they had Martian Manhunter, and a couple other characters. That was kind of nice, but it was and they had two Supermans battling. That was nice to see, the special effects and everything. But like I said, that guy that plays Superman, he's not Supermanish. He's kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give him like a 4 or 5. He's no Christopher Reeve. He's no Dean Cain. He's no he didn't have that look. But even as Clark Kent, he really didn't have the look either. He just, I don't know, someone's not working there. And like I said, that played into my theory of what they're doing with, trying to tone him down so Supergirl looks nice. And by the way, they just kind of wrote him off, and it's apparently had him, get Lois pregnant, and like they went off to Argo City, which whatever. So apparently they're kicking Superman to the curb, and even in a TV series. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, this is turning into a rant because I'm not really big on these crossovers. I avoided watching it last year, and because I refused to be forced into watching shows that I don't want to watch. And I kind of gave in this time because I was like so interested in seeing what would happen with the Flash, 90s Flash, bringing back, and some of the trailers interested me into watching the show, but I was hugely let down. So I would have been better off just avoiding this whole thing. It was just, it seemed like a train wreck, they just, something that was thrown together at the last minute. And even hinted that they're going to have Crisis on Infinite Earths, crossover next year. I can only imagine. I could see it being a train wreck as well, and I probably will avoid that one now, thanks to this disaster. I'm done with the Flash crossovers. I cannot say enough bad things about how disappointed I was in this episode arc. This 3-night event. And I really wished if somebody would listen to me, and if I could get like one of these executives here at like the CW and say, please stop this. You know, this is not. I would be interested to see if what the ratings are on this. On the, I'd be really interested in seeing what the ratings. Well, I'm looking at the ratings. It said it drew the Elseworlds finale, which would be the Supergirl episode. It drew 2.17 million viewers, which that's pretty good for Supergirl, because last time I checked, her ratings, that show's ratings were not that great. That's still not quite the level of The Flash, but that's pretty good for a CW show. Which actually it beat the Crisis on Earth X, finale from last year. It's just, and evidently those ratings didn't carry over to like shows like Black Lightning and whatever. Just it was just like I said, it was mainly the Flash fans watching this, and I guess that worked because it forced fans of the Flash to watch these shows, and it got temporary ratings, which is what they wanted. So chances are they're probably not going to listen. They're probably going to do these crossovers for 40 forevers, and I like I said, I'm done with these crossovers, and just I'm so disappointed. And I hope you can. There was so many things, missed opportunities. Like they could have had, they could have had more of the '90s Flash, more of the little Smallville tie-ins, and they could have cut out some of these characters from these other shows. It seemed like they were, every time these crossovers were trying to sell these other shows, and there's just, it actually did reverse. It made me actually hate these shows. Even more than I already disliked them. Now I hate them. I cannot stand them. And I definitely will not be watching Batwoman. I just, definitely not my cup of tea. Just, I could be wrong. The show may take off, so whatever. What do I know? Me personally, these are all just my opinions. This is my ranting. This is my commentary. So, some of you may have liked it. Some of you may have enjoyed it. Like I said, there was some good scenes to it. Overall, it was a disappointment, but there was some little nuggets of, good things in those in that show, and especially the Flash one, like the Flash shooting the Green Arrow with his, the Green Arrow's arrows in the back, and saying, I got you. That was okay. That was pretty good. But there was some nuggets of pretty good things in it. But overall, the overall crossover was a huge disappointment. I cannot say enough bad things about it. I've just really just I even waited a day to see if I would just think about it before recording anything, and I'm still mad about it. So I guess evidently not. It's just still red hot in my mind. I'm just so mad about it and disappointed by the Elseworlds crossover. Anyway, that's all for this. I just wanted to do a commentary on the episodes 1 through 3 Elseworlds crossover event. Hugely disappointed in my opinion, and highly overrated. But evidently it did so in the ratings, like I guess all these crossovers do, and whatever. Look for, like I said, they're probably going to have the Crisis on Infinite Earths and many more of these crossovers until they cancel some of these shows. I guess like the Arrow eventually they will cancel, and maybe Supergirl, but they'll probably replace it with equally watered down shows. That at some point you may have like a Waterman, at some point you may have like an Aquaman, CW show, or a I don't know. Let's see, like a Green Lantern. I could see that happening. Or a Green Lantern Corps, Corps type show or something. I can see that happening. That would be pretty good. And whatever. I'm getting on a I'm getting off in the left field again. Anyway, that's all for this episode. If you're already not a subscriber to this episode, or you hate everything I have said, and you're probably unsubscribing, I'm sorry. These opinions are my own, so I'm entitled to them. I'm sorry. But if you agree with me and you want to hear more of what I've said, please remember to subscribe or like this episode. Anyway, that's all for this episode. I'll catch you next time.